Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Henry Ford. Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. That was the very first quote that introduced me to the ancient secret, the ancient money secret of thoughts become things. All the classics, all the great thinkers, all the powerful minds of past, present, and future know this one thing: thoughts become things. It's not the outside that creates your reality, it's your thoughts that create your external. I remember driving one day and I heard the quote, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. I heard that and I was so ambitious and I wanted to be successful. And I'm like, really? And at that point, I had probably gone to university or I was in university and thinking that life happens to me, that I just show up and whatever happens, happens. That's not the truth. You are the creator of your reality. And by the end of this episode, I am going to walk you through step by step how thoughts become things and you create your reality through the thoughts you think. So hang with me right to the end because I share a very powerful takeaway somewhere towards the end of this episode, and I don't want you to miss it. So I don't know about you, but for the longest time, I did think that life happened to us. It was a byproduct of who we were born to. And while that's true, for the present situation you live in, and until you realize that your thoughts create your reality and you can begin to change your future by changing your current, once you know that, you start to realize that you create your reality and what's on the external. Everything you see is created by your mind, not the opposite way. We always think that the outside's creating our life. And it's such a subtle way that we create our reality or accidentally create our reality because we don't realize it. And it's really that concept of the creator or the victim of our reality. So I want to go through a few different sections and talk about why we're not taught this. Number two, the reality creation framework that I share, which is how you create your reality, whether you know it or not. The creator versus victim mode, and how you, from this very moment, by the time you're done this episode, can start to take control of your life, be the hero of your own journey, and build the life of your dreams and not live a life that you don't want to. Hey, it's me. Real quick, if you're enjoying this episode, like it and subscribe so you don't miss a future video. I am here to create a money revolution, and that involves helping people, helping you step into your personal power, make more money, and build your dream life. It is possible. It is possible for you. Join me on this money revolution. Subscribe now. So, one might ask, if you're tuned into this channel versus doing any other thing that you could be doing, watching Netflix, going to sports, drinking at the bar, if you're tuned in here, I know you're different. You're on a mission to have the best life because there's this secret nagging feeling on the inside that you can do better. You doubt that feeling and that thought, and maybe you lose hope. And the longer that you start to recreate a life that you don't, people start to get stuck and get depressed because they've become the victim of their reality. So let me walk you through this. In the 1920s, 1930s, the industrial age started. and they created the school system. And while we always think that the school system is there to make us the brightest and most successful individual, which it is within the working format, the school system doesn't necessarily teach us the skills to be personally powerful, how to make, manage, and grow money, and build our dream life. See, the school system was created when factories started to be built. They needed a spot to put children so that the parents could come to the factories. School. And what better way to create the next generation of workers than the school system? If you look at the similarities, the school system is training us for the workplace. And I guess that makes common sense because that's what they want us to do is go into the workplace. But the fact that we don't realize that it doesn't teach us everything we need to know to be our own sovereign boss, to make money, and to live our dream life. We're being trained for the workplace to be somebody that shows up, punches the clock, goes home, and accepts our lot in life. And if you're here, again, that's not you. You know you're made for more, but you just can't figure it out. You try and get a raise, then you end up spending a little more. And no matter how far you get, how keen you are, you just seem to go round in circles and not make any progress. And honestly, if you're 30, 40, 50, you're probably going, well, okay, done all the things, tried really hard, and I'm plateaued. So I guess this is life. That's life within the life that you're living. So the industrial age formed schools. The whole purpose of schools was to teach us enough to be good employees, but not teach us enough that we could be the bosses, the elite, the ones making all the money and running the show. Just think of it this way: set hours, school bell, factory bell, lift your hand, ask for permission, bosses, all of it lines up. So the problem is, if you're going into the work system and you're good with that, that's fine. But the problem is when you start to step out and want to be outside of that system and be self-employed and make really good money, you start to realize how detrimental that is and how much we're not taught. I'd call that the base foundation. But if we really want to excel at life, we need to be tapping into these ancient money secrets. Thoughts become reality. Riddle me this. In the last episode, I shared that from K to 12, we spend about 18,000 hours in school. And to become a master at anything, it follows that 10,000 hours rule. So one might go, well, Tracy, there's more to life than money. And of course, in school, they taught us all these subjects. I would question the subjects and the validity and the usefulness in your adult life. And I can be known to sometimes call them filler subjects because they didn't really teach us a whole heck of a lot about making money, saving money, growing money, being our own boss, right? And in the time we spent from K to 12, if they really wanted to make us powerful and successful, do you not think they would have spent a few of those hours actually teaching us real information about money? So the industrial age led to factories, led to school systems to create more workers. Then we went into the information age, the internet. We started to learn about people all around the world, different beliefs, different cultures, different ideas. And as a population, we started to question organized groups of any sort, of schooling, of even religion. People are like, wait a minute, these people believe this, and we got exposed to all these ideas. So the information age really started to open us up to becoming an individual versus groups, school systems, the greater belonging. society, community. And now, if you listen to anybody, the times that we're moving into is the individual age. And you look at it, you see it clearly. All the people screaming for equal rights, which is amazing. Everybody wanting to express their individuality. Pardon me. We are moving into the age of the individual, moving away from the collective, questioning the school system, looking at politics and going, these are the people that run our countries. I'm not going to get into that. Realizing they might not have our best interests. A lot of people are questioning the structures that we've grown up in from the industrial and information age. And now it's changing. Online schooling, online businesses. The consciousness of humanity has been changing a lot. We've started to learn psychology, self-help, how to use our mind, things they didn't teach us. If they really wanted us to be the most powerful individual, here's what I would have taught in school. Majority of those hours would have went to money management, how to make money, how to save money, how to grow money, how to do a business plan, how to invest. A lot of it would have went to psychology and how to manage our greatest asset, the supercomputer. And the rest of it, I probably would have spent on human relations. How do we work through our emotions? How do we work through problems in relationships? Because if you look at it, money in relationships, faith, a few other things, but money and relationships are two of the most important things in our world. How little are we taught about either of those? We're not taught a lot, very little. So as we move from the industrial age to the age of the individual, people don't want to be conforming. People are saying enough with the status quo. People are tired of being lied to politically on the news. We know there's a better way to live. People are tapping into information like this that's free, realizing that they don't need an employer to make money. The internet is the single greatest tool, I would say, of decades in order to let the average guy level the playing field. If you wanted to make money pre-internet, you had to have a lot of money to put up a store, friends with money, a lot of equity. Most people couldn't get in businesses. I said it in a previous episode. A lot of people would get into multi-level networking because it's low cost of entry. That was the business opportunity for the little guy. Now there's so many opportunities for people to start their own business with social media, cheap websites, YouTube, TikTok, all these tools. We are now stepping into our power as an individual, but it's shaky. We see all these structures that we've grown up with crumbling in essence and failing society. If school system worked and doing the university worked, why is 97% of the population struggling to even pay all the bills? Something's not working. So now as we move to the individual age, it's up to you and I to fully realize we are the creator of our reality. Nobody else, not your teacher, not your parents, not your spouse. It's you. And it's on us to create a vision for our life and start creating it. So I've shared numerous times, and I'll share it again, the reality creation framework. Thoughts, beliefs, feelings, actions, results. That is how you create your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. If you're just doing life and going through your day, you're creating your reality. But when you become a creator versus an accidental bystander in your life, or the victim that some people are, like, poor me, my dog ran away, my truck broke down, a good old country song. When you realize that you got to create your day your reality every single day, but you have the choice on whether you just want to be the passenger or the captain of your ship. That is a powerful moment. So let's go over a reality creation framework and go into thoughts become things. I said this so many times, but it's the core of creating your reality and how to make your dream life and how to make more money. So, your thoughts and beliefs are a byproduct of how you were raised. From 0 to 7, 97, 98% of your thoughts are programmed into your mind. So, as an adult, you're walking around thinking that these are all unique and brilliant adult thoughts. And there could be, those are your conscious thoughts, but majority of the time, the conditioning from your childhood is driving your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, your actions, your results. So, specifically to money, if you want to make more money, but you grew up in lower middle class or low income, welfare, you had an experience where money is hard. And what happened is, as a child, you observed your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your community, your news, your church. And your little mind from 0 to 7 years old was in theta state. That's like hypnosis, where your mind's wide open. So anything that you say to a kid comes in. Just like if we accidentally swear to kids, guess what comes out of their mouth? They absorb it, right? Their little brains pick it up. So children are watching you, are listening, as we know, with the swear words that can come out. So as a kid, you were listening to your parents and you were just being conditioned to them because you have to. That's who teaches you reality, right? So 0 to 7 years old, money is hard. Oh, mom and dad are fighting about money again. Oh, mom went shopping and spent too much again. Oh boy. Oh, dad went gambling and blew the savings. We're going to go broke. We're not going to be able to eat. Money's hard to come by. We should be thankful for that job. Starving kids in Africa. Oh, got to go to work again. Working for the man. You name it. You can even do a fun activity and write that all down. What was the lingo that your parents said? I'm going to guess. You could take a sheet of paper and write those one-liners down. The feelings. Whatever your parents thought about money is probably not far off from what you feel as an adult, unless you've learned this work and you've been reprogramming. So I want to share a bit of a story. I come from a long line of farming families, and I'm a rancher here in Canada, and I own media companies. The first time I ever got a loan to buy some cattle for our ranch, I was so excited and so proud. And I went out to my grandparents' farm. It's a 2-hour drive. I was just so excited to tell my grandpa, who would have been 70 at the time, I guess, 60s, probably, yeah, about 60s. I was so excited to tell him about my cattle loan and the fact that I was an official real farmer with my own cows. So I sat down and I told him that. And then what proceeded to be a beautiful and innocent conversation really spearheaded and opened up a lot of money mindset learning for me. So I shared that with him and he was excited for me. Really sweet memory. He's gone now. And then he proceeded to tell me how hard it was when he got started and that they didn't have a lot of money, of course, because times are hard. He was literally working the land and building a house. Like it was tough. It was hard times back in that generation to make a living, to start a farm, to feed 11 children, 12 children at that time. Life was not easy. So then he shared a story with me that he wanted to start his own beef herd. And he found some cows, some Black Angus cows that he wanted to buy. Went to see them, really liked them. And one of the banks here, the national banks in Canada that lend to farmers, sat him down. My grandpa shared his thoughts, I guess financials at that point, and he got denied because credit was hard to come by when he was farming. Farming is tough. It's hard to get started. And while at that time it was a very innocent conversation, I took that away, and it was sad and heartwarming to hear his story and my ancestry and how we got going as a family farming, and then the next generation. And here I am starting my own cattle ranch. But as time went by, I realized, and I stewed on that, and I realized how much of that is so very true for you and I. The conditioning that we get from our parents from 0 to 7 is what's in their mind and what they spew out consciously or unconsciously. But guess where they got their subconscious programming? From when they were 0 to 7. And if I look at my parents and then my grandparents, when my parents would have been 0 to 7 and my grandpa was building a farm, they were pretty hard times. They grew their own food. They had to butcher their own animals to put food on the table. So my mom and dad, they were conditioned mentally about opportunity, about money, about stability and security in a time that was very scarce, where children passed away from illness, where people starved, where houses burnt down. And then I thought a little bit deeper. Well, if they conditioned my parents and my parents conditioned me, and I'm in the workforce, and then in a world with the great internet and thinking that my opportunity is hard, where did I get that thought from? My parents, who got it from their parents. And my goodness gracious, in 2025, as I sit here, and I mean, these were 10 years ago when I had this learning, we live in very different times than our parents. Even my parents, they didn't have the internet. They left the farm. My dad became a trucker. My mom was a hairdresser. They had opportunity. They had credit. Times were very flush, but they were cautious because they grew up in poverty and scarcity. And then credit came in, and they were able to build businesses and have better times, but they still had the mindset of their parents. Then I realized how many of us sitting here in the golden era of making money are wasting this opportunity because we're living a reality from 2 generations back, 3 generations back. So as we go through this and a little bit longer here, you create your reality from your thoughts and beliefs that came from your parents and probably their parents. So Mayday, those need to be updated. Update the iPhone, right? Then you get a feeling from your thoughts and beliefs, and then you take action. So if right here, the very start of the whole system of reality creation, if your thoughts and beliefs are inaccurate, you're right this way, living an inaccurate life. You don't see reality the way it is. You see reality the way you are. Right? Because if the way you seen reality was 100% correct, everybody would be living the same life as you. And guess what? There's people that make less money, and there's people that make more money. So the reality that you claim is bulletproof and 100% accurate is not, because there's other people live in different realities. And why? Because they were programmed different ways. They have different thoughts and beliefs. And once you correct your thoughts and beliefs, listening to this, reading the greatest books of all times, watching YouTube videos, all of the books, the classics, and there's more, but I refer to a handful of them. Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, Allen, oh my goodness, James Allen, The Power of Positive Thinking, Psycho-Cybernetics, There's a few others, but all the greatest books that were written in the 1800s, early 1900s, they all stand true today. And what is the underlying principle? I'll give you a spoiler alert, which is great because then if you know this, you can read the book a different way. I read those books and still didn't quite get it, and it took me time. All of those books tell you that your thoughts become things, that how you think is how you create your life. And if you think of it, everything created in this world, I gave the same cup last time. Everything created in this world is created first in your mind, in a mind, and then in reality, right? This globe, that picture, that wheat stack, somebody's seen that in their mind and they're like, I should make this really cool globe decoration. And then they went to their welding shop and they welded it up. And then they sold a patent to some company that mass manufactured them. Everything is thought of here. Because if somebody didn't think of this, this wouldn't exist. It has to be thought to be created. So the thing is, same with your life. You look around and you go, well, this really sucks. I'm barely scraping it by, and I know I can do better than this. You know, kind of have a bad attitude. I'm frustrated. This guy I went to school with, he was an idiot, and he's like loaded. I'm just frustrated. Spoiler alert, your thoughts have created your reality. And while that's like a gut punch when you first hear that, and you're like, no, Tracy, this happened to me. This happened to me. This is not my fault. Okay, bad things do happen from external. But on the day to day, let's not get caught in the tragics or the amazing. Let's do the average 80% of your life. Your life is created by your thoughts and beliefs. So if you come from poverty, welfare, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. There's a reason it's third, fourth generation poverty because it's been passed down through conditioning. And then let's say I grew up in welfare, I'd be sitting here as a 42-year-old thinking that's my possibility because we always look at the outside, what people tell us, what we hear, and what we see to build our reality. It comes in through our eyes, through our ears, onto the screen of our mind. And then our mind says, oh, okay, thanks for that information. So that's our lot in life, like welfare. Okay. And pre-internet, you didn't really see much contrast. You knew, let's say you were in low income, you knew there was rich people, but you didn't really know much about them. And vice versa. In middle class, what you have created on the outside is a byproduct of what's in here. Once you change here, you create a different out there. And that's what people don't realize. Thoughts, beliefs, feelings, actions, results. So when you change your thoughts, beliefs, you get a new feeling. So you're like, wait a minute. It doesn't matter what my past conditioning is. I can change my future. Oh, new feeling. And when you get a new feeling, even though you doubt it, you're changed. And when you get that new feeling, you take a new action. And as soon as you start to take new actions, you get new results. Because let's say that feeling, watching this video, you're like, what? Like, I thought this was my life forever. What do you mean I could do better? Like, I've tried and tried and tried. You're like, okay, well, I doubt this girl, but I'm going to trust this girl because other people have been poor and got rich. So, there's something to this. I've got a new feeling. Possibility. Doubt of your doubts. Curiosity. So then you go and grab one of those books that I mentioned or an audiobook and you start to read it. And then you get new thoughts and beliefs up here. So then you get new feelings and you take new actions. Then you get new results. And like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but all of a sudden you get a raise or you start a business and you keep on going through the reality creation framework with new thoughts and they become new things. It becomes a new reality. New thoughts and beliefs, new feelings, new actions, new results. I hope that makes sense. Because you really don't see life as it is. You're conditioned with the reticulator activation system. Forgive me, that's close to that. Your mind has a system that filters because you have, well, they say anywhere from 40 to 60 to 70 to 100,000 thoughts a day. All those thoughts you have are just recycled. Same thoughts until you get new information. Then you go through the loop. But the thing is, because of your programming, the RAS system, it's like a filtering system. So it filters through reality to find situation, people that match what you think reality is. So if you're poor, all you're going to see is poor. And there could be a guy walking by you with the watch and the vehicle and great wealth, and all you see is poverty and no opportunity when somebody rich just walked by you. You filter out. If you have a doomsday mindset, you go through the city and you see the destruction and the homeless and the closed down shops because that's what your RAS system focuses on. Because your brain thoughts and beliefs are there's no opportunity. It's hard. Businesses fail. People are homeless. We're in a recession. Then somebody that's programmed to see opportunity, thoughts and beliefs, know that there's opportunities, especially in hard times. So that next person takes a drive through that same street and they don't even see any of the bad stuff, or they see the bad stuff and think of it as an opportunity to help humanity. Wait a minute, there's an empty shop. Instead of going, oh, see, all businesses fail. Because my great aunt had a business back in 1970 and it failed. And our family thinks that it's scary to get in business. So all I see is businesses that have failed, except for there's one business that has failed and then 9 that are lined up that are open and successful. The positive person that sees opportunities go, wow, look at this. Oh, there is an empty spot. If this business is doing well, I can do well. You don't see reality as it is. You see it how you are, how you've been conditioned, how your mind thinks and believes the world to be. And it's just not true. Because again, I'll repeat what I said earlier. One of the most powerful learnings, if you've seen life exactly how it is, like if your thoughts were 100% accurate, everybody would be living the same experience. And then when I seen that and thought that and realized that, that was a gut punch. I'm like, oh, if there's people that are successful and I can learn money and skills to be a business owner and make more money, and they're not special, they've just learned those skills, I can be. So it's a gut punch, but it's also when your eyes are open to the fact of how biased our mind is from our conditioning and how we're just not really even living a true reality. Everybody's living in their mind and seeing it and creating it on the outside. Once you realize that, it's like, oh, but then it's like, oh, rock on. I can do this. I can change my future. So, reality creation framework. And when you learn that, and then you can start to get new thoughts and beliefs, learn, take courses, try, fail, try again, get a mentor, watch videos, read those books, learn how to start a business. When you start to step into your life as a creator versus somebody just doing life according to how life is happening, like, oh, that boss didn't give me a raise again. Well, you are the creator of your reality. And when you realize that, you show up different to the world. You don't show up as a victim. You don't also put out that feeling. When you start to get thoughts and beliefs that you're powerful and you're creating your future and you're on a mission and you're starting a business to help people, you put out a different feeling. And this is the external part of reality creation. You're creating it on the inside, but there's also some outside elements, the laws of the universe, 12 of them. the law of attraction, synchronicity, people being in vibration with your mission. Have you ever seen somebody that hates their job and they're like, bah humbug? Well, you don't get a good vibe off them. Their frequency's low. A salesperson, if they come to sell and they're like, well, yeah, it's okay. This product's okay. Do you want to buy it? He'll be like, no, you don't even like the product you're selling. When I started building my media company, I had to sell advertising. And before every meeting, I would read The Science of Getting Rich and the part about offering value to the client, to put myself in a positive mindset and giving and service. And I get myself into the mission behind my advertising. They could advertise with my media company and reach their target audience and make more money. I had a high vibration. People wanted to buy from me because I believed in what I sold. I vibrated at a higher level. Therefore, I attracted money in through my vibration, my service, and my business. That's the external part of it. When you show up with the thoughts and beliefs, the feelings of vibration, the energy, the mission, the service, when you match in vibration what you want, money, it comes to you. If you're like, bah, humbug, life is hard, you will get those results. Nobody will buy from you because you have a terrible vibration. Just like a negative Nelly. Take it away from a exchange of business. People, if you are of a decent mindset and you're around that guy that's always negative and sky is falling, do you like being around him? No, he repels you. She repels you. It's like, oh, I've got to see Sally, got to see Frank. I'll hear about all their problems again. That's not the way to attract what you want. You just repel it through your feeling, which is your vibration. And that's the external part. When you show up as the best you and you're here to do it, all things start to conspire to help you out. Your vibration, the law of attraction, synchronicity, cause and effect, law of compensation. These all start to come in play when you are playing the game correctly as a hero in your journey and not a victim. Oh, this was a lot, guys. I'm so passionate about it. I feel bad and I stopped trying to create 10-minute episodes because this kind of stuff can't be covered in 10 minutes. There's a lot of intricate details and examples and walking it through. I don't want to put it in 10, 15-minute videos and have 3 videos that are disconnected. It has taken me so long to learn this and be able to understand it right to my bones, to be able to explain it and to be able to paint the big picture. I don't want to break that up. So if we're 30, 40 minutes, an hour, I apologize. But the thing is, the people that want success, you're here on my channel. Otherwise, you would be doing any number of leisurely activities, focusing on things that aren't going to grow your future. But you're here. And if you want to do it and be the creator of your reality, the hero of your story, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever this video ends up being, to learn the whole reality creation, the ancient money secret that thoughts become things, the fact that it is hidden from us, the most important information, the power of our mind. Because the thing is, if we all tapped into this and we all became creators of our reality, power structures like politicians, they wouldn't be able to get away with taking our hard-earned tax and shipping it off and wasting it, squandering our hard-earned tax money. If we were all in our personal power, we'd be making what we need to and giving back and living out our highest expression, which I fully believe we're meant to do here. So this is powerful stuff. I'll close with another quote, and it's along this lines. The 2 most powerful days in your life are when you're born and when you figure out why you were born. And this reality creation framework, these ancient money secrets, life secrets that thoughts become things. This is the starting point of your journey where you step in and say, wait a minute, this girl says, and this is how everybody else has achieved wealth, and they're not special. So if they're not special and they've learned it, I can do it. And you start stepping through this. It's not an easy roadmap like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the cycle and learning and growing, right? It is just a beautiful path that you're going to walk in becoming the hero of your journey. And it starts with the reality creation framework and the ancient money secret, the most ancient secret of all, that all the best books of all time share. Thoughts become things. So I want to challenge you. What are your thoughts? You can write them out. Pay attention to them. Take a sheet of paper. How do you feel about money? What are the one-liners your parents and grandparents said? Do you use any of them? Do you say a lot of limiting thoughts like, I can't afford that? It might be true, but don't say that, because what comes off your mouth goes to your mind and your brain says, oh, we can't afford that. We're poor. Okay, let's create a poor reality. They say that your tongue is a wand. It is magical. Your words create your reality. Your reality comes into your mind. Your thoughts build your reality. So what kind of thoughts are in here right now? What have you been programmed? And what do you want to believe? What is your end goal? Just like any GPS, you need an end location. What is that? And then step out, learn, get new thoughts and beliefs, because when you get new thoughts and beliefs, you start a new reality creation framework. And it may take time, but this is how you create the life of your dreams. I hope this was helpful, man, guys. If you realized how powerful you are, your life would change like that. Nobody is more special than you. You can absolutely do this, starting with the reality creation framework. And the ancient secret, thoughts become things. So what are you thinking? And what do you want to be thinking to create a new reality? Thank you so much for tuning in. I treasure you being here. And if you have any thoughts or takeaways, drop them in the notes. If you want to become a money boss, step into your personal power, make more money, build your life dreams, build the life of your dreams, like and subscribe, and even head on over to the moneybosscollective.co to sign up for our newsletter to be notified when new episodes come out. This is my passion, and I know that you are capable of building the life of your dreams. Let's do this.